The story of John Paul DeJoria begins in a scenario of great difficulties, shaping his journey early. Raised in a humble environment by his single mother, he faced financial challenges that culminated in a significant experience, living without a fixed home. At 22, he found himself temporarily homeless, but this situation was not enough to stop his spirit. This initial context illustrates the strength of resilience as a fundamental pillar to face adversity. Often the most difficult circumstances test the limits of human capacity, but they also reveal inner strength. For DeJoria, the difficulties became a source of learning, allowing him to develop a clearer vision of his priorities and what he really wanted to achieve. At a time when many could give up, he took a proactive approach, recognizing that what would define him was not his origin but his choices. Your ability to reimagine a promising future even in extreme situations demonstrates that, to achieve success, it is essential to start with a clear purpose and a growth mindset. After overcoming a difficult beginning in life, John Paul DeJoria found inspiration to transform his situation. He and his partner had the idea of opening a hair care product company. However, there was a significant hurdle. They did not have the capital to take the first step. With a clear vision and a great deal of hope, the two decided to seek an investor willing to share future profits in exchange for initial funding. This moment marks a turning point in DeJoria's story. Having a visionary idea is important, but execution is where many give up. He found himself facing the hard reality of trying to convince someone to believe in his dream without any guarantee of return. The search for an investor was not easy, and the challenges only increased when a potential financier who seemed to be the solution pulled out at the last minute. This turn of events left DeJoria and his partner without resources, forcing them to confront hopelessness once again. However, instead of giving up, they decided to persist. After the devastating disappointment of losing the investor who seemed to be the solution, John Paul DeJoria faced a critical moment. He was literally broke, hopeless, and living on the streets. This dark period in his life was marked by extreme hardship, where daily survival was a challenge. He describes the experience of being homeless as something no one should have to go through, but also as a time of reflection and transformation. When someone hits rock bottom, as DeJoria explains, there is one positive fact: there is nowhere left to fall. This awareness made him understand that the only possible direction was up. He began to transform despair into motivation, asking himself questions about how to get out of his situation. For him, the simple act of asking, "What can I do?" opened doors to possibilities that previously seemed non-existent. This change in mindset was essential to his recovery. DeJoria, with a mix of pride and need, decided to turn to his mother in Los Angeles. He borrowed just $700, promising to pay it back within a month. With this money, he and his partner began to work extremely frugally. They learned to live on the bare minimum, spending only $2.50 a day on food. Even in these conditions, he found kindness in the people around him, who treated him with respect and kindness. This support was a valuable lesson that he would carry with him for the rest of his life. With these first steps taken, even in extremely limited financial and emotional conditions, John Paul DeJoria began to deeply value the small victories and acts of kindness he received. He believed that gratitude was one of the most powerful tools for opening new doors, and he used it to strengthen his mindset as he sought solutions to his challenges. DeJoria was always categorical in stating that gratitude is the mother of all virtues. During this time, he began to show appreciation for the people who helped him, even in small ways. He remembered the kindness he received at the places where he bought cheap meals with the little money he had, and decided that in the future he would make a point of repaying those kindnesses. He also adopted a commitment to resilience. For him, giving up was not an option, even in the darkest moments. He discovered that even when all seems lost, a positive attitude and actions focused on progress can transform any situation. DeJoria internalized the importance of keeping going, even when the path seemed impossible. He often advised that one should never underestimate the power of keeping trying, even in the face of rejection or failure. This period marked a turning point, not only for his need to overcome obstacles, but also for learning that helping people along the way can create a cycle of opportunities and inspiration. He understood that success is not just about material wealth, but also about connecting with others and maintaining a determination to grow, even in the face of adversity. John Paul DeJoria has always believed that rock bottom is not a place to stay, but a starting point for ascension. He has faced countless situations of despair, but each one has been seen as a lesson. For him, when you hit your lowest point, there is only one direction: up. This mindset has helped him overcome times when he literally had no money in his pocket. DeJoria shares that during this period, it was essential to reset his focus daily. He began each day with the conviction that yesterday did not have to determine today. This approach allowed him to envision solutions, even when reality seemed immutable. For him, each morning was an opportunity to rewrite his story, an act of courage that required facing his negative emotions and finding strength in what was still possible to change. He also developed a vital skill: detaching himself emotionally from the weight of the past. This included forgiving himself for mistakes, not holding grudges, and focusing exclusively on what could be done to build the future. This transformative mindset became one of the foundations of his success. John Paul DeJoria's journey was not only built on big milestones, but also on small achievements that he deeply valued. He believed that recognizing and celebrating these moments was essential to staying motivated. A striking example was his financial and emotional discipline in living on a budget of less than $3 a day, something that seemed impossible to many, but for him it was a survival and learning strategy. During this time, he learned to value the essentials. He ate at simple places, where he developed relationships with people who he would later help to thrive. He also decided to give back to the generosity he received, reinforcing that success is a two-way street. It's not just about achieving, but also about how you impact others along the way. DeJoria says that when you are kind and grateful, it creates a positive cycle of opportunities and connections. Each act of gratitude and kindness he demonstrated seemed to bring new resources and unexpected opportunities, paving the way for his next steps. DeJoria knew that success would not come without facing rejection. Along the way, many doors were closed before he was able to open one that would truly take him forward. He compares this experience to selling encyclopedias, where you had to knock on dozens of doors until you found someone who was interested. The lesson he learned was simple but powerful. It is essential to maintain enthusiasm even after a series of rejections. This approach not only strengthened his resilience, but also sharpened his ability to identify opportunities. He developed a mindset in which each no was just one step closer to a yes. This perseverance, combined with his belief in the value of what he offered, was crucial in creating a solid foundation for his future business. Even when his company began to generate profits, John Paul DeJoria chose to maintain an extremely simple lifestyle. He knew that reinvesting in the business was the only way to ensure sustainable growth. This decision demonstrated his financial and emotional intelligence, as he avoided distractions that could compromise his long-term progress. He emphasizes that when starting a business, it is essential to be disciplined. This means not only managing money well, but also understanding your priorities. For years, DeJoria lived below his means, ensuring that every penny was invested strategically. This practice helped him build a solid foundation for his ventures, while many others were lost in the pursuit of immediate gratification. For DeJoria, having a product is not enough. It has to be exceptional. From the beginning, he and his partner focused on offering the best in the cosmetics market, knowing that quality would be the differentiator that would keep customers loyal. This strategy proved effective, as it not only attracted new consumers, but also turned many of them into brand advocates. He emphasizes that word of mouth was one of the most valuable tools for growing his business. DeJoria advises entrepreneurs to never underestimate the importance of delivering the best. He says, if you believe in your product and the value it brings, it will show and the results will come. If you enjoyed this inspiring story, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel for more successful content, and share it with your friends. Comment below what motivated you most in this video, and stay tuned for the next videos to continue your transformation journey.